Hey guys, Chris at 8280 Creative. I'm here to talk to you about starting a clothing company, more specifically on screen printing, artwork, and the capital it takes to start something like this up. First and foremost, the most important thing in any clothing company is having enough designs that are going to be liked by consumers. So that said, you should be developing 30 designs, and not necessarily printing all of them, just the ones that people are going to be attracted to. Um, Once you have all your designs set up, and let's say you're ready to print a few of them, a couple things you need to do is get them ready for the print shop to print and to burn a screen. um, what that takes is never design any shirt designs in Photoshop. Only design in Illustrator. The reason why is Illustrator puts out a very crisp image, and Photoshop, it does as well, but um, the resolution isn't there. So using an Illustrator program is going to have those images vectorized, and you can stretch them as big as you want and that sort of thing, and it won't go out of resolution. Anyhow, let's just take one of our designs for enough. I know it's hard to see, but what this is it's a transparency, okay? And the easiest way to get something like this is to go through Kinko's and send them your file as a PDF to size. Okay, now this sheet is an 11 by 17 inch sheet, and normal screen print companies use that size um, to keep it within the screen. Now screens run from about 24 inches by 20 inches or so, but they don't like to go all the way out because the squeegees that they use to screen print aren't that wide. So um, since we're doing all the printing in-house, our squeegees don't go wider than 17 inches, and that's why all of our designs are based off of 17 inches. So to get to this point, everything that we design, no, I won't say everything. Some of the stuff that we design by hand. We throw it into the scanner, we scan it, we take it to Illustrator, and we vectorize it. And by what I say vectorizing is it basically turns a hand drawn image like this. It's kind of hard to see, right? Like these birds here, these scrolls here, this spade in the middle. That was all hand drawn. We throw it into the scanner, throw it into Illustrator, and it vectorizes it for you, and it makes it crisp, and you're able to stretch it as big as you want without losing resolution and line weight and all that sort of stuff. So Illustrator is the best thing to use. Really, the only thing you should be using to designing any sort of printable uh, printable media, other than paper products. Okay, and here's why. When you're screen printing, okay, when you're screen printing images onto shirts and apparel and fabrics, I'll give you a little lesson here. Okay, the screens are it's a mesh. Okay, it's a really tightly woven mesh, and it's surrounded, or it's framed with either a wood frame or an aluminum frame. What they do is they coat that with emulsion, and emulsion is basically it's a photosensitive material, chemical, I guess, that once it's coated and it dries, if it's exposed to UV light, it hardens the areas that the light hits. Okay, so that being said, this image here, we put this on top of the screen, okay, and the UV light hits it, and the stuff that's black, the design that's black, that doesn't get hit with the light, stays soft, and everything else around it gets hard, right? So after that, the screen gets put into a wash rack, and then they wash out the stuff that didn't get burnt. Okay, so it's all soft and really slimy. So it pushes it out, and it basically ends up with a negative of this. Okay, pretend this was reversed, and everything else on the outside was black, and everything that was the design was clear, and you would see the image. The reason why that is because when they put the ink down and they squeegee it, the ink only goes through the areas that have not been, I guess, cured by the UV light. Okay, so having your artwork ready to be printed on this type of material is the best thing to do. Never think that you're gonna design on Photoshop and then uh, send them a Photoshop file, because then you're going to start getting art fees. Okay, art fees, basically they take your Photoshop file and they vectorize it to the best of their ability, and they charge you for that. So to avoid costs, you definitely want to have your stuff ready for ready for print on Illustrator. The best thing to do is to get these printed out and send them over to your printer and have them burn right off of what you have. That way you know exactly the size of it. You know how it's going to look on the shirt, because you can literally, I could put this up to my shirt and be like, okay, that's the size it's going to be on the front of my shirt. I like that, or whatever. This is actually a back piece that's two different ones. Now, going more in depth and getting your artwork ready. Now, you see these registration marks right here. It's a little circle with a line through it. There's one on the bottom over here too. Okay. Well, this design that I was holding up has this going around it. Okay, you see the registration marks again? Missed you guys. Hold on. These registration marks line up. Okay, creates a border around my image. And the reason that is because this image, right, is going white. This image here is going red. So they have to burn two screens. That's two screen charges. Normal screen printing companies charge you like $10 or $25 per screen. That's also called per color. This right here is two screens, two colors on one side of the shirts. So it's ready. It's ready to go. They can take these two and they can burn their screens, and I don't have to worry about charges. Okay. So the more colors you get, the more screens you're looking to do, the more cost you're going to incur. So when you're starting off with the clothing company, definitely stick with 1 to 2 colors, um, and kind of I would say stay with the same design on front and back if you're looking to do both sides of the shirts. Only because, let me give you another example. This one I showed up earlier is one color gray. This is like a gray color that's going on the shirt, and this right here goes on the front of the shirt, right? So this goes up front here, really small. This goes on the back, as big as I can get it, right? So that right there is going to save me some money, because I'm not doing 2 colors and I'm only using 1 screen. If I could fit it on this 11 by 17 inch paper or transparency easily, then I could avoid doing a screen charge, another screen charge, I should say. Let's see here. Here's another one. Here's another one, 2 color. I'm sorry, 2 designs, 1 color. Right? This is gonna go like a silvery shimmer gray. This one's gonna go the same thing on the front. So, I have a couple other shirts in here that I did for clients that are like, I think 4 colors, and those are a pain in the ass just because you have to never line anything up and blah blah blah. But if you're doing them in house, it's harder. If you're doing it outsourced, then here's one here. I didn't put registration marks, and I should have, but this is one of the first screens that we did. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there it goes, right there. See that? There's a red outline on this one. It's just it gets more. You get more into cost when you're doing multiple colors, because not only are you paying for extra screen charges, but you're also paying the screen printer to run, or to pull, I guess is what they say, to pull it more than once. And some of them charge per pull, some of them charge per screen only. But again, to keep your costs down when starting a clothing company, definitely stick with your 1 colors, your 2 colors, single designs front and back, or 1 color, 2 designs front and back that fit on on 1 sheet. There's another one, right? And these through Kinko's, I think they're like $2.50 or $1.50, something like that, to have them print. And you use these over and over and over again. If you don't like the screen printer you went to the other, last week, and you want to go try somebody else, you take them this film and they burn it, whatever. So there you go on films and artwork ready to go. I'm gonna make another one here in a minute about let's see, I covered the screen printing, and I covered the art fees. I guess let's talk about producing this stuff and see what the cost is. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute.